Today we're going to be talking about pay transparency, Elon Musk, personal savings accounts, mortgage rates, and a couple of resources. And my name is Josh Rincon.
My name is Carlos, and welcome back to Avance Latino News. If this is your first time watching, please subscribe, comment down below, and give us a thumbs up.
Thank you for joining us. And today's episode, we're going to cover a lot of important topics. Any feedback, any questions, anything, you can leave them down in the comment section below. Share this video with your friends and family, and let's get into it. So if you're residing in California, if you're a California resident, there's a new California law that forces most companies to provide salary information. Woo! If your company has more than 15 employees, it's going to be required to list salary ranges for jobs and make that information available to existing employees as well. So this is not just new employees, current employees as well. This is huge, actually. This is actually a good thing.
Where do they have to post this information? At their website or something?
They need to be able to, two things, provide it to people that are currently working already in their company. So it's like, hey guys, so now you're gonna know what your coworker makes, what your boss makes, what your supervisor makes. Well, a range. I don't think, suppose it says they're not gonna give exactly, but a range. But that's good. And then for new people that want to apply to a job, that way you don't waste time. You do the interview, do the whole process, and you find out, oh shoot, they're only gonna pay this little. I think you just cut straight to the point. Okay, this is what they can pay. All right, I'll apply to this job.
When I saw this is interesting because for me, I've always known what kind of salary I was supposed to make. So I've always seen it. So I never knew it wasn't a law. But I'm guessing they're gonna
most people don't. That's the problem. Most people. Yeah. When I was applying, when I got out of college, that was the thing that I kept running into. I applied to different jobs, and I don't know what the salary was. I even wasted my time with one job, all the way to the last step. They wanted to hire me until I find out what they're gonna pay. It was nothing. I'm like, seriously? I would have wasted so much time. I would have saved so much time if I would have known what the salary was.
If people are gonna know what everyone makes within the company, they're gonna get pissed off to the ones that don't do that much,
or that are underpaid.
Or that are super underpaid, yeah.
Same role?
No, yeah. Or higher ups, and you're like, wait, I'm doing pretty much everything. How come he gets almost double what I'm making? So it's going to be weird at first, I'm pretty sure if you're a small company, everyone kind of knows what they're making, But yeah, big companies is going to be a big problem for some.
It's going to put a lot of people like, oh, shoot, because, there's a lot of companies where the same role pays different. Because at the end of the day, it's all on the person's negotiation skills. If they're good negotiators, then they'll get a bigger raise. And if they have experience in another place where they would get paid really high, then it's easier for them to negotiate. Yeah. So
I think this is more of an issue for big companies because I haven't worked for big companies. I only did once and I hated that, so I've tried not to. But for big companies, they're pretty open about it, about how much you're going to make, and you kind of have an idea of what everyone makes.
Smaller companies, right?
Yeah, small companies, you kind of know. Big companies, you don't know. So I don't really know because I don't really work for big companies.
Yeah, I think maybe like middle to big companies and like smaller businesses, you kind of have an idea. But yeah, like my old job, definitely. The only reason why I knew what people made is because my coworkers were transparent with me. They told me. They just told me how much they make. And
when is this law going to place?
It's already in place, and there's other states like.
Well, I wonder how. I guess.
Well, I don't know if it's official. Actually, let me take that back because you know how they say this law passed, but it's not going to be official till
2024.
I think it's soon because New York it's put into place November 1st, and we did it before them. So
I think it's only going to be brought up within companies if someone brings it up, because most businesses probably don't know unless they're required to have to put it somewhere.
They don't even have websites, some of them.
Yeah. So I think only if you're an employer and you ask hey, did you see this law? But everyone in that office is going to hate you. They're going to be like, oh, let's get rid of this guy. Why is he wants to show that? Yeah.
You're gonna know what your boss makes. So
everyone makes.
It's gonna might be some conflict of, you're gonna be like, oh, they make double, and I do more work than them. What?
Yeah, it's going to be awkward.
It should be interesting. But now, moving on to the next thing, mortgage.
Why do you pick that photo? It feels like we're...
I know. It feels like it's...
Yeah, it's trigger warning or whatever. Yeah.
30-year fixed rate for mortgages has hit 7.16%. That is ridiculous.
So you're saying this is the best time to buy a house?
This is the very best time to buy a house. If you're looking to buy a house, right now, the houses cost the highest. They're the highest they've ever been. And not only the price is the highest, but the interest rate is the highest. Buy high, sell low, right? Just kidding. Now, right now, I can say this with every confidence in my gut. It's the very, very worst time to buy a house right now, this very moment.
But there are people that are still buying, you know, that to me, I don't know. I don't know how they're affording it. You know, it's like, how can they afford it if interest rate is that
Even
high?
if they could afford it, it's like, how can they accept 7%?
Yeah, but like for some people, like there was a house that some guy was explaining that went from like during the pandemic at 2.5 interest rate or 3 roughly. It's like 1,400 to 1,700, and now for that same property, you're talking about close to 3. So
Yeah.
how can someone afford that?
Oh yeah.
It's like if people are buying houses, I just like, what? How do you afford that? Unless they desperately want a house, I don't know. That's just, I don't get why someone's buying a house right now.
If we're at 7% right now, and we haven't really seen the full, like, you know, when the interest rates are like when the Fed raises interest rates, it's not rapid like that. And the very next day, we start seeing the impact in the economy, and you know, with cars, with credit cards, with the mortgages. Like it's not like instant. If they're gonna keep it raising interest rates, which they are in November, people are betting on Jerome Powell another 75 basis points. Are we going to get to 10 before the year ends, or by next year, 10% interest rates on mortgages?
There's a website that you can bet on stuff like this, and the bet is that it's going to be 8 by the end of the year. Yeah, so
definitely. If it's already almost...
Yeah, because you never know. At the end of the day, no one really knows what the Fed's going to do.
No.
Yeah, so like we could say interest rates are going to go up to 10. Who knows, you know? It could be like, you know what? The Fed gets too much pressure, and they'd be like, you know what, drop interest rates.
Back to zero.
Back to zero. That's what happened in the 60s. We didn't take care of inflation in the 60s. So we had inflation again in the 70s. So that usually happens when we have inflationary periods, is there's always double peak. If you look back at any chart, there's one peak of inflation, it goes down, and then there's an even bigger peak. So I don't know. Like we could hit, like let's say it hits at 8% and it stays there for couple of months, because like how we said last podcast, or Joshua said literally right now, is we're barely feeling the first interest rate hike, you know, and there's been more than 5 already. So for that to take an effect into the economy is going to take a second. And like how we were saying last week, malls are still crazy packed. So people are still overspending, buying houses at 7.6%, and we still technically haven't hit recession because unemployment is crazy high. So I don't know what's going to break.
Yeah, I don't know either. And people are still buying homes at, like, I get it. If you buy a house, 7% interest rate, you can always refinance. But the problem that right now is...
But when?
Okay, yeah. But when? You will be able to. But the problem is the house price is high. I would get if houses right now drop 20, 30%. Okay, then it's not a bad deal. The price is down. Yes, the interest rate's high, but the price went down. But right now it's like too highs.
But you're also like, let's say you're like, okay, I'll refinance later or whatever. But you're locking in that expensive price, and what if recession comes and you lose your job?
Yeah.
It's like you're just putting too much stress on you. If I was you right now,
renting looks sexy right now.
Rent is also pretty sad.
It is.
Rent's not. That's a lot of people would rather get a house a lot because.
But if you had an apartment through this whole thing, then
just stay.
You're chilling.
Yeah, just stay, in my opinion. But yeah, I would just sit on cash because, like we keep saying, there's going to be a deflation period.
Correction.
There's going to be a correction. Prices are crazy high, but there's going to be a correction. And when that correction comes, only those that were savers and waited patiently are going to be able to buy all that property.
Stocks.
Toys, computers, TVs, cars for very cheap. You just have to play the waiting game.
Delayed gratification. Let us know if you bought a house right now with the 7% interest rate, 6 to 7,
and why you bought that house.
Yeah, was it because it was a good deal? Because there's still good deals out there. I know there is. It's just
really,
of course, yeah. There's always a deal, but it's just it's so rare, probably. You know,
it's hard to find a deal right now.
A house that's actually what it should be worth instead of these really really high numbers right now. But yeah, who knows?
So Saudi Arabia has done what no one thought was possible and actually started building the line. This thing is insane. It's a 500-meter tall mirrored linear city that's supposed to stretch for 170 kilometers across the desert. It's absolutely incredible. Work has now begun. Drone footage has come out. Look at it. It's absolutely insane, showing this thing being constructed. Obviously got a long way to go until it's going to look like these crazy renders, but the fact they've actually started this is big news.
Will this be the solution to all the problems with climate change, housing supply, everything?
Well, I don't know if I want to live in a condensed little area like that. It's pretty cool, you know? It's really cool that they're trying to do this, but you know, I like taking a drive up the coast on PCH. I like driving to the mountains, you know. I like the change of scenery. This looks like you're going to be like in this box. I don't know if I want to. It's kind of like living in skyscrapers, like in New York.
It's not for everyone. It's not going to be everywhere, but it is going to happen in some places.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do people really want to live there? You know, like what?
I guess they'll test it out there.
Yeah, because I know like they're saying like the new prince. I don't know the name of him. He really wants to take all the money because they make so much money from oil, and transition. Because everyone knows that eventually we're gonna stop using oil as much as we do now. So they have to take that money and reinvest it. And this is one way of doing it. It's a really cool idea. Don't get me wrong, but I would not want to live there.
I don't even know how it would work.
I don't want to live there.
Sounds interesting. It sounds very, you know.
It sounds like it's really cool to visit. I just wouldn't want to live there.
No, of course not. I would feel like I'm being controlled because I'm in a box.
Yeah. But did you see what they said that you could go anywhere within 20 minutes or something like that?
Yeah. This
so
is like a super fast train.
Yeah, so it's like it's gonna be really cool, and suppose there's gonna be a lot of flying stuff and AI. Like we'll see. This is probably gonna take like 20 years. So I'm probably gonna be like 50 when this comes around. But like I don't know if I want to live there unless remote work gets crazy good that you can work anywhere around the world. There's probably gonna be people that are gonna live here. You know, I like my drive.
Yeah, I like driving my car. Right there, you wouldn't own a car. You wouldn't own anything. Just your living space, basically.
You're pretty much limited, you know, and then you're stuck in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really cool.
It's for probably wealthy people who don't just live there. They have various places probably, maybe. It's not their own place. I don't know. We'll see.
Who knows?
Now, this is something that's been interesting. It's hilarious. But Elon Musk, he's visited Twitter.
Finally, he bought Twitter.
Well, not officially.
I think on Friday. Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow is the official day.
But he's already pretty much in there.
Deal. I know. He posted this on Twitter.
He's pretty much already there.
And Twitter headquarters let that sink in, and he's literally carrying a sink as he walks into the Twitter headquarters. Ultimate meme. He is hilarious.
He's a meme on Twitter and in real life.
Yeah, Elon Musk is hilarious.
It looks like he's losing weight in that video because he was looking kind of chubby, and when he went on this trip, and they were taking shirtless pictures of him, and I feel like he's trying to lose weight now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And on his Twitter bio, he put the head of Tweet or the
chef
or the chief of Tweet or Twit, something like that, right?
Yeah.
But here's something interesting that he had told investors that he plans to cut 75% of the employee base. You're talking about dropping the workforce from 7,500 to 2,000 workers. He definitely wants Twitter to become profitable right away as it gets in, probably. That's what I'm assuming. Because, I mean, all that salary that he's going to let go.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
Well, we all have seen on TikTok, there's these trending videos and day in life of working for Facebook and day in life working for, Twitter.
They do anything.
For Microsoft. They don't do work.
They don't do nothing.
Like, they wake up at 9 or 8 or whatever.
They work from 12 to 2. That's basically it.
They go to the office. They go to the gym. Then we have a team meeting at this restaurant. Then we have lunch. Then we have another detox session. Then we go shopping. It's like, wait, where's work?
And then after a long day of work, I get a massage.
Yeah.
It's like,
so yeah, and like there's a podcast that I listen to, and Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Twitter, all these social media and tech companies do that on purposely because they don't want these people to go to their competitor. So they hire knowing that it's pointless, but they rather hire them and not go to their competitor. So this is why there's not that much technology revolution going on, because these big companies are just sucking up all these resources. But yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of these Twitter employees
and buying out small companies that are can be innovation. And
can push some cool new thing. Yeah, and now that's why Elon is gonna go in there and just fire. But did you see the letter that they wrote to Elon? They wrote a letter to Elon saying you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh man, it's actually really interesting that even Elon was making fun of them. Because they basically wrote him a letter when you come here, you shall not fire us. You should not do this. You should give us this, give us that. They basically wrote a whole letter of demands Like it's really they posted
Whoever wrote
it. They
that
posted
letter
it
is
this
fired.
morning. They posted it this or on Wednesday morning. They
I
posted
gotta
it.
check it out.
It's hilarious because all they wrote is demands, and you can tell this is how entitled. Like these companies aren't run from the higher ups; they run from their little employees that take over these companies. That's at Apple. Apple's trying so hard to make their employees come back to the office, and they're like, "Nope, we're not going to." And then that's why Elon's gonna go in there. You know what? Fire all these people. Which is good. I heard also he wants to move it from wherever it's at I think in Silicon Valley. I think he wants to move it outside of California. So he might move it to Texas, yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Or
see why not.
Miami, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I know with Elon, everything he touches has innovation.
Yeah.
Has innovation. So Twitter can be that new company that
Hate him
comes out.
or love it, he doesn't have a company that's not doing good,
They're all doing great. And I mean, Tesla itself, the car company, has revolutionized what it means to own an electric vehicle. And it's cool.
Yeah, before the coolest car was a Prius, but that car is not cool at all. And Elon came in,
That
it's
was
like
lame.
Yeah.
That was only for hippies.
And I don't know why any other car company didn't do what Elon did. And he did it at the worst time in 2008, when his company was failing. He had to put all his money, all his marbles into Tesla, hoping that it survived. So, he knows, that we're going to go through this recession. So he's probably like, yep, fire all these people. We don't need them.
Yeah.
Which is good because I think Twitter might compete with TikTok, in my opinion.
Yeah, Twitter is, I mean, even before Elon, Twitter was still good, but it's only good because of the people, the people that, like, not because of the app, but there's some people on there that make it good. So they need, like, if Twitter didn't have Elon, like, tweeting, the biggest names in Twitter are the reason why Twitter exists. Without those people, Twitter's nothing.
Yeah, that's how they have to figure out a way to make them, gain money. Which I think they're going to go into the video game. The video, competition like TikTok. They're already doing it like I showed you the other day. You could scroll up on videos and you can start doing like a little TikTok feed. So I'm pretty sure a lot of anyone that wants to be working for a high-tech company for the future is going to be like, okay, I'm going to work for Twitter.
Yep.
Elon's there.
Heck yeah, Elon's there. Yeah, of course they're going to want it. Now, we talked about Twitter. We talked about, mortgage rates. Another thing that's, I guess you can say is kind of alarming is that, people's savings rates have fallen, not just slightly, but off a cliff. This graph shows where our savings rate was, and we showed this a couple of months ago. We haven't shown this in a while back, but as of now, we're pretty much almost lower than we were in 2010. Our savings rate. We were extremely high. Obviously, this is, stimulus checks, unemployment, another stimulus check, the golden stimulus check from California.
But wouldn't you think that would last a little longer?
No.
Like, it literally lasted less than a year. As fast as it came, it literally went.
The power of, habits, and that it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you're a bad spender, you can make 100,000, 100 million. You're always going to be in the same place, living paycheck to paycheck. Well, if you're living paycheck to paycheck with 100 million, then I don't know what's wrong with you. But personal savings rate in total is at 629 billion in the second quarter of 2022. We were at 4.85 trillion in the second quarter of 2020. Just 2 years ago, we were at 4.85 trillion total personal savings Americans. Now we have less than a trillion, almost half.
Well, it's almost like that famous, that we talk about how people who win the lottery, as fast as they get broke and more. That's probably what's happening right now with the American savings is they got all this money and now they have less than they previously. So they're way worse off than where they were first when they got all the stimulus.
And because of inflation, they have to dip into their savings to pay for things like gas and food and whatnot.
It's also because as like I see it, like even me, sometimes I'm like, I gotta cut back. Yeah. And we
still spend the same.
Yeah, and you still want to do that stuff, but you're like, no, I'm not gonna eat out. Okay, I'm not gonna buy that because we're gonna head to this. I better start saving a little bit more. And it's hard, I still see people are spending the same. People are still buying cars. People are still buying houses. People are still buying, and credit cards are going through the roof, right? You're going to talk about that too?
Yeah, credit cards. It rose to 887 billion in the second quarter of 2022. That's a 13% increase in a year. That's the biggest increase that we've seen in the last 20 years.
Yeah, so something's gonna break.
And the recession hasn't hit yet. So
Yeah.
once the recession hits, that credit card that is going to increase even more because people lost jobs. Well, they're going to use their credit cards to pay for stuff.
Yeah, and like a lot of companies are already downsizing. Like, you know, the only thing is like everyone's talking about recession, and that's my only thing. When everybody's talking about it, are we really gonna hit it? You know?
Well,
like a lot of people say, this is the most anticipated recession ever in history. Before other recessions, you know, it came in what the.
Well, there's where even if the fundamentals say no recession, there's this thing called the self-fulfilling prophecy.
The more you say it.
The more you say it, the more likely it's going to happen. Everyone's saying 2023, 2023. It's like when you say, every winter I get sick. You're going to get sick every winter. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're telling your mind it's going to happen, you know? Like,
or like, geez, this summer is so hot. Every summer is hot.
You know, so it's like, I think with the news, people, economists, you know, just even us here on the podcast, you know, recession 2023, it's a self-fulfilling policy, whether the fundamental, not all the time, but that tends to happen sometimes where everyone's, because the recession in itself is literally just people cutting back on spending and saying, no, this is a bad time, I'm not going to spend. And that causes the economy, and it's just a Whipple effect. That's literally what it is.
Well, recession is also the one thing that we haven't hit, which is the most important thing to be like, yep, we're in a recession, is unemployment.
Yeah.
It's
strong right now.
This is still not breaking the back of Americans because at the end of the day, they're still employed, so they're paycheck by paycheck, you know? But as soon as employment, because that's the only thing, that's why, like, everyone's still saying we're not in a recession because of unemployment. Once unemployment, you know, starts, it's a ripple effect, and that's what's going to hurt all these people that are in debt, you know, and don't have any savings. You know,
their lifestyle just increased during this last 2 years.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen. It feels like some people say this might be the slowest recession we're going to enter. Like, it's just going to be like a painful, like, we're just going to get through it and be like, oh my God, just get over it. You know, that's why, like, maybe the Fed is trying to land it super softly. But what that means is it's going to be like a really long, drawn out, which is me. I'd rather just rip the Band-Aid. Rip the Band-Aid, get it over with, and move on. But this feels like a really slow recession.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, but we're not in a good space. The space, you know, the fundamentals of where our savings and our debt is not good. But like you said,
if you're watching this, you know, pay off debt. At least have $1,000 in your bank account and try to hit that 6 months of having that monthly expenses. Yeah, please.
You spend $1,000 a month on rent, utilities, and everything. In 6 months, that's $6,000. That's your goal. Very simple, very straightforward. I want to show you a video of our president in regards to let's just watch this video.
On Friday, President Biden spoke to workers at a Volvo plant in Maryland where he opened with this line. Have a look.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America. Made in America.
He doesn't make it easy, does he? He doesn't. He said 2 words. It ended up being 3. Even Biden's sentences are experiencing inflation.
Oh, man, it's hilarious. And just like he said, he doesn't make it easy, right? He doesn't make it easy.
Poor guy.
Yeah, you have to feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, it's like more than anything, he needs to retire.
Yeah.
But inflation's not going to let him.
No,
he's going to have to work for 4 more years.
He probably like, damn, I shouldn't have run.
Yeah, poor guy.
He just wants to eat his ice cream.
Yeah, eat ice cream, take vacations. Poor guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, this could be a whole other topic.
Maybe this also shows how bad our education system is. Even the president doesn't know what 2 or 3 means.
Well, maybe he means made in America. He thinks that's 1 word, maybe.
Well, that's even worse. What do you mean he thinks that's 1 word? But it was really funny because you could hear it in the crowd. Some people laughed. They're like, "What?" But he said it twice, and he said it was such a determination. So he knew he was. It didn't click. Yeah. So poor guy.
Even his words are experiencing.
Have you seen that video that he also said, like, we're gonna spend
over $200 billion.
So sad. Poor guy.
Yeah. He. That's a whole other video we could talk about. You know, this guy needs to be retired. He needs to be in retirement. Enjoy his grandchildren and stuff.
He's like 80 almost. He's on Be Real? Right? That's a Be Real?
I just realized that. So for the COVID-19 research and stuff, he recently posted. I guess he posted a Be Real. I didn't notice that, but yeah, he got my annual updated shot. Look at these guys. He's on Be Real. I just realized that. Damn, I gotta send this to my friends now. But yeah, so if you want to know anything about that, vaccines.gov. Anything about your vaccine, any information,
What about our student relief, man?
I know student loan relief. It was kind of like put in the air. It's kind of a little pause, but don't worry, we'll get more information about it soon. I know it's gonna happen. Hopefully before the year ends. That'll be the most amazing Christmas gift. And 2 other resources I want to share. If you have been waiting for Section 8 housing, the lottery waitlist is opening. Right? Let's talk about how you can apply. This is for LA. Okay, if you're watching out from LA, I'm sorry, Los Angeles. So this is the first time they're opening the lottery for applications in 5 years. That's how impacted they are. So much people have been. There's a lack of housing in LA, right? So with this program, what Section 8, if you don't know what it is, basically it's like the government coming in and giving you rental assistance. Let's say for whatever reason, because of your income, the rent is $2,000. You can only afford $1,000. You only pay $1,000, and the government comes in and pays the extra $1,000. So like literally, they'll come in and help you pay for that whatever you got to pay. So you're gonna pay a lot less. So in order to qualify, you need to fall under not poor but very low income. You got to be making as an individual $41,700 or less, and as a family of 4, $59,550 or less. I mean, a family of 4 making $60,000. That's definitely low income, very low income. You can't afford anything to buy anything, to rent anything. A family of 4, that's crazy. But yeah, so you have to really qualify. You have to really need it. Really, really, really need it.
So basically, they find a house, or how does this work?
I mean, throughout LA, there's a lot of low-income housing available.
That's really cool. Then.
And there's some landlords that can use their apartment complexes
As Section 8.
as Section 8. All of it, part of it, let's say they have 100 units and they're like, you know what? To get tax credits, tax incentives from the government, I'll use 10 of my units, 10% of them to give to Section 8 housing or whatever. There's obviously a lot of legality, a lot of it's not that easy, but...
Yeah, this is awesome if you get it, because you get into this house and at the same time be able to make more money, save more money, and then eventually, because... Move out, yeah, so that's awesome.
Yeah, hopefully you can, So again, since it's a lottery, that means it's not guaranteed. You apply and they kind of just pick, I think it's a couple thousand. I don't know the exact number, but it's a good amount of people, but still, if there's more than 10 times more than the houses that are available are applying, so... Not everyone that's applying is going to get a place, basically.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And I think there's a deadline by the end of this month.
Yeah,
I think it's April 30th, I think is the deadline.
April?
I mean, it's October. October.
Damn, already April. We're almost there. We got to finish 2022 first. But yeah.
So there's only a couple more days.
Yeah, if you know about this, you probably know about... You've been waiting. I mean, they haven't opened in 5 years. You're probably I know when the day
I
is.
applied already.
I already applied, yeah. Another thing, this is a great resource. There's $3 million up for grabs in rental assistance in some LA neighborhoods. It's in District 13. Basically, some of the cities include parts of Hollywood, Silver Lake, Echo Park, and other cities as well. Basically, what it is you have to fall under a certain income threshold. So you have to. It's obviously for people that are low to moderate income, families, individuals, etc. You can get up to $5,000 per household. I mean, that's a good chunk of change.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, $5,000. That's a great amount.
That's a full-time salary for some people.
Yeah, you could just literally That's a great way to end the year. $5,000 for free that you could use towards your rent. I don't know what the rules are. If you have to use it for rent, you can use it for other things.
Oh, just one time payment.
Yeah. Oh, you thought a month?
Yeah, a month. I was like, wow, that's super sick. I was like, damn, they don't have to work. That's full time.
Oh, that would be.
Nice. Gotcha. They're gonna win $5,000.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just one time. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you can apply online or over phone. The website is cd13.com/rental aid. Just like this, poster says right there. It's that same website. And they're going to receive applications from October 24th. So already started. And they're going to close the application on November 4th. So right away, very fast. I think that's next week. Yeah. So by midnight. So apply today. Apply tomorrow. No later. That's all the resources that we have for you guys today, and you can always contact us on all these various platforms: YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, and our Gmail. You can contact us directly, and thank you guys for watching. Take care.